Hey guys, this is Tim Windsor. Welcome back to the UNCOMMODiFiED podcast. This is another nitty-gritty episode that I want to do. Just want to take a few minutes of your time and talk to you about an idea. The other day I led a discussion for a group of consultants that I connect with once a month called The Network. And the subject matter that I chose to lead a discussion on, a conversation around, was the alchemy of change and choice. Let me explain what I mean by that. When we think of alchemy, being an alchemist, it's about taking things and mixing up something, creating stuff, this potion. There's a sense of magicalness to these alchemists, bit of mystery. And I actually believe very strongly this is a great metaphor for those of us who work with people and those of us who even want to catalyze change and choice in our own life. There is a certain magic that's required, a certain cooperation of elements that makes this happen. When you think about it, it's sort of like when the conditions are right for lightning. The other night, while we were doing the network meeting, there was some really violent storms that rolled through the area where I live. And according to the weather network, the conditions were right for lightning. Their conditions were in a place where lightning could happen at any time. Well, the alchemy of change and choice is sort of like that too. If we get the ingredients right, then the environment is right for the lightning of change and choice in our life. And so here's a question. Either if you catalyze change or choice in others, or if you want to do it for yourself, what are the kind of things that have to be mixed together? What environment creates an opportunity and a better outcome for change and choice? If we're going to change or if we're going to make a new choice in our life. And there's a couple of words that come to my mind when I think about this. I think about words like desire. I think of words like demand. I think of determination and drive. These are powerful words that actually form the basis, the alchemy basis for change and choice. And it all starts with a base ingredient, and that's desire. If there's no real desire for change or choice, for change or a new choice, then nothing happens. It starts with desire. And the greatest way that I know to create desire for myself and others that I work with is visualization. Our ability to visualize the future, the reality that we want, the change already done, or the choice made and done and dusted, and now we're living inside of its positive impact. That's where the magic happens. It's in that visualization stage. And so whenever I'm looking at catalyzing a change in my life or a new choice or catalyzing change in the people that I work with, the leaders or employees that I work with, or a new choice to do something in an organization, I always start with helping them understand not only where they are, but where do they want to be. And the more they can feel it, touch it, taste it, smell it, then the more they might desire to want to possess it. And so this is a critical factor in relationship to the alchemy of change and choice. It's really like marketing when you think about it. Marketers are great at causing you to change a direction or make a change or a new choice to buy something new. And they use the power of visualization to do this, the neuroscience of the images in our mind that creates the desire to want to possess something. You know, like a Corona ad when you think about it. In Canada, where I live, in the dead of winter, sometimes you drive by this massive billboard and it's a big Corona ad. It's a big beach, that's it, with a bottle of Corona stuck in the middle. That's about all it says. And the reality is as you visualize that, it creates desire. And when that desire is fulfilled, then we take action. Desire drives action. And so when we're talking about the alchemy of change and choice, the ingredients that need to be mixed together, the first ingredient must be desire. And desire is aided by visualization. In addition to this, there's four other words that come to my mind. And again, I want you to think about this personally if you're looking at making a change or a new choice in your life, or think about it professionally, or think about it with teams that you lead. There are four words that are really important for us to park on, four additional words. There's desire, there's demand, there's determination, there's drive, the things I just said. But there's four other words, and that is clarity, desire comes in here as well, focus, and energy. And let me explain how these things cooperate and create the alchemy of change and choice. These four ingredients. Clarity. The clearer you are about what it is you want to be different, to change, or the new choice that you want to make, the clearer you are, the greater clarity you have, then that is where it starts. The more you can see it, smell it, taste it, as I said before, then good things happen. Then desire comes in. We've got to desire it. We've got to want it. In fact, the word that comes to my mind is obsession. If we don't have a certain obsession about what it is that we want to be different, nothing really changes. Clarity, desire, obsession, and then focus. We've got to get focused on certain actions and activities that drive that change or release that new choice. And this is where we start to get practical. We identify actions that are required to make a change or make a new choice. And this is where we get practical. This is where we get tactical. We move from that sort of that more nebulous part of clarity and desire, the emotional part, and now we move into focus, which is ultimately a very practical focus on the things that are required that will create the change or choice we want. And then lastly, we empower those actions with energy. We need to bring the proper energy to the actions that are required for the change or choice that we want to drive in our life. And whether this is an individual, personal, or professional change or choice, whether it's an organizational, cultural process change or choice, or even if you're a salesperson and you're looking at trying to drive a change in a choice that a customer is making and get them to buy into something, these things are true. There's a marketing piece, there's a selling piece. We market to ourselves, we sell to ourselves, we market to our employees, we sell to them, we market to our customers, we sell to them. But what we're ultimately doing is creating the environment that would be ripe for lightning, where lightning could strike. And in this case, lightning is the excitement and power of a change that we want to make or a choice that we want to make. Let me give you an example of this in my real world. Back a number of years ago, I encountered an opportunity to become clear about something. I was having double knee surgery, and I walked into my doctor's office, and he had run a battery of tests, pre-surgical tests and things that I needed to do, and I went in for my pre-op appointment. And I remember when I went in there, he came in with this big sort of pad of paper, and we were chatting, and I knew him quite well, and he said to me, "Tim, I have one question for you." And I said, "What's that, Doc?" And he said, you want to have, he said, you want to have a heart attack in your 50s. And I said, no. And he said, no, you want to have a heart attack in your 50s. And I said, no, absolutely not. He said, well, you're going to. He said, and then he went through a bunch of different things, high cholesterol and this and that and this and that. And then he went and said something that was very painful but very clarifying for me. It brought clarity for me. He said, Tim, the reason why partly that you're having double knee surgery and why you're putting so much pressure on your knees is you are overweight. And at that time, I was running around 240-ish. For my frame at a 5'11", that's a fair amount of weight. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't very healthy. That's the truth. My cholesterol was through the roof. It was not a great thing. I'll tell you, I walked out of that office with clarity about my problem, and then I began a process of creating crystal clear understanding of what I wanted to do. I began to articulate to myself what did I want to be, my health I wanted, the weight I wanted, and I began to get focused and create a desire. I created a plan. And on February 14th in that year, I began a process of looking at addressing this problem in my life. And from February 14th to July 20th, my birthday, I went from 240 pounds to 177 pounds. It was hard work. It was difficult. I had to put myself to bed some nights after dinner because I found myself at the fridge and I didn't know why. Now, I'm telling you this story not because I'm an amazing person and I can do amazing things, but because the process of change and choice, the alchemy of change and choice is the same for me as it is for you. Clarity, desire, focus, and then applying the energy required to get things done. Desire, demand, determination, and drive. All of these things are what we need to be focused on. Now, I'm sharing this with you because this is important. Whether you want a really great change or new choice in your personal life, or whether you're driving change or choice for others, it just doesn't happen if the environment isn't right. When the environment's right for lightning, it can strike. And when the environment's right for change and choice, it can be released. What are you obsessed about? What are you clear about? What are you focused on? What do you bring the energy to for change and choice? My encouragement for you tonight is to consider these things, whether it's daytime where you are or nighttime wherever you are. When you're done this podcast, do me a favor, grab a piece of paper and ask yourself, what change or choice must you make? Not do you want to make, must you make, like I had to. Must you make for yourself or others, and how are you going to create the alchemy of change? How are you going to release the power of change and make the conditions right so you can do what you said you wanted to do for years? Let's get it done. Let's be clear. Let's create desire. Let's create focus, and let's get on it. Like my friend in Kentucky says, like a coyote on a crippled chicken. Have an excellent day. Go out and drive change and choice in your life.